Well, I am back again. This is Tia Torres, and you are listening to, obviously, the Tia Talk podcast. Now, I wish I could give you a solid schedule on how many times a week I'm going to be able to do this, but I promise you I am going to do as many as I can. As much as I would love to have them air every morning, it's just not physically possible, but I will at least get you a few per week. And then maybe, you know what? Maybe it'll expand every morning. I don't know. So I want to catch you up just briefly with what's been going on, and then I can expand more onto each topic. Those of you that follow what we do with the dog rescue, you know that we are currently trying to close down our New Orleans location and move the dogs out here where I'm at, which is Assumption Parish, Louisiana. Now, the reason I am telling you all of this, I have a bigger plan in mind that I have not even announced to anybody yet. But I'm going to tell you. I am teaching my youngest child, Mariah, and my daughter-in-law, Mariah also. I'm teaching them the nonprofit world. And I hoped to be able to hand over the torch to the two of them to continue running things, as well as, ready for the big news? Each of them is going to be running their own nonprofit as well. M2 is going to be focusing on, M2 being my daughter-in-law, focusing on community outreach. You know, she loves helping people with their animals. She likes the whole medical thing with getting animals spayed, neutered, vaccinations. So she really wants to do community outreach. And then my daughter, Mariah, is really big into girl power, uh, female empowerment, and feeling getting the strength from dogs as well. So each of them is going to be slowly learning how to take on their own nonprofit, in addition to really handling the ins and outs of our rescue. Now, I'm not going anywhere, don't worry, although I would like to sometimes. But I really want to get involved in the other parts of my world. Um, the first being prison and inmate advocacy, being a support system for women who have a loved one, primarily a husband or a fiance or boyfriend in prison. I am currently working with an inmate right now and trying to help him get his case put before the courts again, because he has said from day one that he was wrongly convicted. So I'm working with him. And of course, in other prison news, my ex-husband, Tony, who helps me on my other podcast, 25 to Wife, he's going to be getting out next year. So even though he's not coming out in the capacity of a partner for me, he's going to be a working partner, meaning he's going to help me with my dogs and my personal things here in my office, to free up some of my time so that I can do things that I enjoy as well. So those are some big announcements right there. And I really, really want to get more involved in writing and my novels. The inmate that I'm working with, that I just told you I'm working with, he just wrote a book, and he and I were talking the other day about how he wants to expand his literary talents. So I'm thinking about approaching the prison that he is at and seeing if maybe I could do some kind of a literary workshop with the inmates there. So there's so many things that I want to do that don't necessarily involve dogs. So I do need to employ the help of my youngest daughter and my daughter-in-law, since they are the ones that are basically like my right and my left hand. Ooh, what was that bell? Huh, never heard of that before. Now, additionally, I have to keep my little online production company going, the Rabid Reality. That's how we do all of our online content through and putting it out there on our various platforms so that we're still relevant. So people still remember us. You know, the TV show was a blessing and a curse because once the show was off, the air, we became out of sight, out of mind. Even though our rescue had been in existence for over 30 years, so many people thought we only existed through that TV show. So when Animal Planet was sold and then ultimately crushed, and all the shows that were connected to it went away, we had to think outside the box. And so by creating my own online production company, we started putting our own content together, hoping that we could salvage what viewership from Animal Planet that we could. It's only been around for about a year. So the Rabid Reality is still fairly new. We're still struggling. We're still trying to get it noticed. So having this podcast, for example, offering it for free, using it to tell the world we're still here. We're doing all kinds of different things, but we're still here. And if you truly love these dogs and the work that we do, whether it be with inmates, whether it be you want to follow my writings, we need you to continue to support us, whether it's emotionally, physically, monetarily, either of those. So this is what's happening right now in our empire. And this podcast platform, I will dive into each one. But of course, for this particular episode, I kind of wanted to sneak that announcement in there that my daughter and my daughter-in-law, both named Mariah, are going to be really stepping up to the plate and learning my world inside and out so that I can just take at least half a step back to start working on these other projects. So y'all are the first to hear about this. I'm not toying with you. Y'all are the first to hear about this plan. I haven't made the announcement yet. So that is how passionate I feel about this new rebirth of the Tia Talk podcast. Whew, I feel exhausted. All right, y'all. Well, thanks for tuning in for another episode. And I'm going to have to come up with some catchy, sayonara, adios, goodbye at the end of my episodes. I haven't come up with anything good yet. So maybe you can give me some suggestions in the comment section of this episode. Huh? All right, y'all. I got to go take care of some dogs. And I'll see you on the next one.